I want to share with you here the coffee cup principle, right? One that I have kind of made up over the years to illustrate an incredibly valuable life lesson. Call this a life principle. So I want to help you to understand your motivations. Picture your life, all right? Picture your current conditions. Picture your life as it stands today. You have what you have. You don't have what you don't have. Had you set goals, or perhaps more thorough goals, or had you been clearer on what you actually want more of in your life in the past, then you would most likely have some of those things today, or you'd be making progress towards acquiring some of those things. All right. Some of the craziest conversations we can have with people is when they say, things like, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm stressed, I'm really down in the dumps. And we say, okay, why? Why are you stressed and depressed and down in the dumps? And why are you all sad? Because I don't have what I want. I said, what do you want? Oh, I'm single. I'm in my 40s, I'm single. I'm overweight. No one loves me. I don't have any friends. I'm just working in a dead-end job, going nowhere in life. And then we say, and what are you doing about that? Something, nothing, a little bit, much. What is it? We all have the final say in how much or how little we drive our lives. All right, and it's going to be determined by how much or how little we understand motivation. All right, motivation, some people think is a feeling. All right, you'll have some of these guys and ladies over in the US of A, and they'll charge you thousands of dollars. Come to my motivational seminar. And they'll be prancing around on the stage. You can do it! Unleash the power within. Just think it and it will happen. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You can do it. And then you have people in the crowd all dancing around. Oh, I'm wonderful. I can do it. That's amazing. That's fantastic. I'm so excited. In fact, I'm motivated. But they're not motivated. They're just excited by the noise that the kind of inspirational salesperson has put on. Many people do not understand the difference between being motivated and being excited. Some people think that motivation is about, I'm really spurred on, I'm really fired up. No, that's not motivation, right? Everyone is motivated, right? Ironically, you might be surprised to think about this idea. Even those people who go nowhere in life, who build nothing, who literally just stay in the same dead-end job for the entirety of their adult lives. They might end up single, obese, overweight. I'm just trying to get you to picture like something that you don't want in your mind's eye. So picture this person, they're in their mid-50s or 60s. They've never built that meaningful relationship, don't have a family, they're just existing, doing a dead-end job that they absolutely hate. And you might think, oh, that person's not motivated. Wrong. That person is fully motivated. That person is motivated by not changing. That person is motivated by comfort, the comfort zone. The person is motivated by security, right? And if you think about it, if we're driven by security, the comfort zone, safety, we don't want to take any risks, then that means that we're not going to take any action steps towards the things that we actually want more of, so we just end up having to exist with whatever it is that we have. Everyone is perfectly motivated all of the time. Criminals, people who end up in prison, right? People who rob banks, people who do undesirable things to people. What drives every extreme behaviour? What drives every extreme action? What drives laziness? What drives a person to remain the same? What drives a person to remain the same or do much? A person's motivation. Right, I want to share with you a story here, help you understand this, then we'll come on to this coffee cup principle. Motivation lives inside of us. Right? We're either going to be motivated by much or we're going to be motivated by not much. We're going to be motivated by changing and growing and developing, or we're going to be motivated by staying the same and living a comfortable, secure life. The problem is, if we commit to living a secure, comfortable life, then what we're essentially compromising is our ability or capacity to make progress and ultimately experience fulfilment. You can't have stability and security whilst making progress at the same time and also experiencing excitement and fulfilment. So excitement and fulfilment come with us taking risk and taking action steps towards accomplishing our goals. Security and stability are the prize within themselves, right? But they tend to not come accompanied with fulfilment and contentment and peace, because security and stability often come with stagnicity, maybe a little bit boredom. What I'm saying is everything in life is a trade-off, right? We're trading off all of the time. So we're all motivated by something. Think about September the 11th. When was that? Remember the 7th September the 11th? Terror attacks throughout America. This was kind of just a story that I read, that I considered, I thought about afterwards. So there was those terrorist organisations, was it Al-Qaeda or whoever it was back then, had hijacked some planes, right? Held some innocent people hostage who were just going about their daily lives, then flew those planes into major landmarks throughout the US, Twin Towers, DC, and there were others. So on this day, those individuals took the lives of thousands of people, devastated an entire nation, right? Shocked an entire world, right? Were they motivated to do this? Well, if they weren't motivated to do it, then they wouldn't have done it, right? So the fact is, yes, they were motivated, but the question is, what were they motivated by? I think back to the age of 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I was an insecure young man, an insecure boy. I had no self-confidence, my beliefs. I'd never really had an influential role model in my life up until this point. So I decided to join the army because I saw the army as being something significant that I could do with my life. I guess I was motivated by becoming a bit more significant than how I'd previously seen myself. So I saw joining the army as being the gateway into a whole world of significance. So I stayed in the army for around about 10 years. And I was very, very motivated to climb my way up the ranks and go for the next promotion and work hard and absolutely become an expert. I wanted to become an excellent soldier. And I did. I became an excellent soldier. And some people saw me as significant, some of the junior ranks, as I kind of worked my way up the ranks and got promoted. But I also saw myself as being quite significant. So in terms of, my confidence, well, when I wasn't a soldier, I didn't have much confidence. Then as a soldier, I had confidence because I saw being a soldier as, a significant role to occupy in life. So why did I stay in the army for 10 years? Because I didn't enjoy it. And very, very few people do. There's a lot of soldiers you'll find, they'll tell lots of great stories. But anyone who's actually had experience in military life know that there's a lot of sitting around involved, where there might be kind of 5% action, there's around about 95% inaction and boredom and stagnicity and tediousness. All right, that's military life. It is. There's a lot of rules, and you get a lot of power-hungry men and control freaks and all that sort of thing. So military culture is not a particularly enjoyable culture to be in, right? Until you start working your way up the ranks. So I'll be honest, whilst, I had some great friends, as a job, my goodness, brutal. Hence the reason I left after 10 years. I joined because I wanted significance, but then I left because I wanted freedom. So I joined the military because I wanted significance, or no, I actually needed significance. Then I left because I need to get my life back. I've got to be autonomous here. I need to be in control of what I do and when I do it, and I have none of this inside of the military. So what I'm showing you here is that our values and our priorities change through life. So let's think back to this terror group who'd hijacked these planes and killed a whole load of people. So they had that day been motivated by something to fly these planes into landmarks and kill thousands of innocent people. All right, and that's pretty extreme, as we are well aware. No justification for this. But there is a reason. There's a reason, but no justification. On the same day, as these planes had been flown into landmarks, people were killed. New York had been absolutely devastated. Ground zero happened. And Twin Towers were kind of wiped out. People on that day, police, firefighters, road sweepers, shop, workers, bypassers, shoppers, risked their own lives and ran into this danger zone, motivated by saving people, put their own lives at risk in the process. Now get your head around this, because on this day where some men had hijacked planes with an agenda to kill people and take life, other people sacrificed their lives and put their lives on the line to save people's lives, who they were motivated by taking. Motivation. One person's motivated by taking life, one person's motivated by saving life. 1 minute I'm motivated by significance and sacrificing my freedom. The next minute I'm motivated by freedom and giving up my significance. Right, what I'm saying is this is the coffee cup principle. All right, we're either being pushed by our goals or we're being drawn towards them. All right. Just an interesting observation in response to the terror attacks over in America. Could it be the case, and think about this, that the same motivational driving factor that motivated these men to take life was they saw what they were doing as being something significant to do. They were motivated by doing something they saw as being significant. For better or for worse, that experience has made its way into the history books and it will never be removed. Likewise, the guys and the ladies on the ground who sacrificed their lives that day for the purpose of saving life, could it be the case that they also saw that as being something significant to do with their lives? Perhaps in the same way that I saw joining the army as being something significant to do with mine? I don't know. Right? We're all motivated by different things. That's all I'm saying here. And until you understand what's actually driving you, what's actually motivating you, until you have this level of clarity, you might not ever be aware of why you're doing what you are doing. So we've got to understand the difference between external motivations and internal ones, right? Our motivations live within us, and this is where the coffee cup now comes into play. Yes, that's right, we're going to come around to that now. So it's kind of like we have these internal driving forces, these internal drivers. You know, what drives you? Well, what drives you is going to be some internal deficit, right? We're not motivated by things that we already have. We're motivated by acquiring things that we perceive ourselves as not having, right? I was an insecure young man at the age of 16. I wanted to feel significant, so I committed my life for 10 years to doing something that I believed was significant. Was it significant? No, it wasn't. But did I feel significant for those 10 years? Yes, I did. Did I mention that beliefs and worldviews kind of influence how effective we are in life as well? I think I did, didn't I? So we have some motivations that kind of push people in life. And it's kind of like some things people pursue they don't actually want. Some goals that people set are kind of like nothing more than chores for us. Like some people are motivated by getting promoted at work because they might see that as significant, but then hate the work that they do. So, you know, the commute every single day into the city, or, staying back for the extra hour overtime, Monday morning blues, that feeling of dread on a Sunday evening, after having a great weekend at home with a wife and kids, or golfing or whatever, right? So what I'm saying is some goals that some people set, they really have to push themselves out the door to pursue. Some people, and I can relate to this one, leaderboard, when I was operating in sales, after leaving the army, I needed to replace this significance with something, right? I did. So what I found was that when I got into sales and business development and kind of financial advice giving, I found that I was given new targets, and if I met my targets, I got like a quick fix feeling of significance. So I was still driven by the same goal, significance, but I was trying to use external results and outcomes, if you like, to meet this internal need. So picture this. Our values and our drivers live inside of us. This is the coffee cup principle. Then what we try to do is we try to get things outside of us. We might try to get some more likes on Facebook or Instagram, because many young people are desperate for more likes today, or some gold stars, some fast cars, some more money. Some people commit their whole lives to making more money because they see net worth as being the same as self-worth. Kind of like, I am worth the amount of money that I have in the bank. Well, there's a bit of a diluted idea right there, isn't there? Rank, this is true for me. Fame, stuff, the more stuff I have, the more full my life is, the more complete I am as a person. Nonsense. No amount of money, no amount of materialistic stuff is enough to fulfill you in the long term. And this is the coffee cup principle. We are motivated by drivers inside of us, deficits that we perceive ourselves as having, then we try to meet these internal needs with external things, right? Problem is, the coffee cup gets in the way, as does your physical body. So, we're either being pushed out the door by, goals that we set ourselves to meet what we think will be our kind of internal needs, or we set meaningful goals that pull us towards them. All right, so we're either getting pushed out the door by things that we don't really want to do, right, in the hope that they kind of give us a fulfillment and the inner peace that we want, or we change our perspective instead and consider external motivations. All right, internal motivations. So, such as, right, you can be motivated by getting more social likes, and you can do what you can do whatever you want to do to get more social likes or to get the top of the leaderboard. But once you're there, once you've got the likes, it's like the gratifying experience then fades, and you've got to do it all over again, don't you? It's kind of like it just keeps us, like some people become addicted to all this stuff, get addicted to being the top of the leaderboard, or they get addicted to the social likes, or addicted to the money, or addicted to the next promotion, addicted to fame, because they see it as being what? Significant? But how about when we can shift our priorities just a little bit, where rather than being motivated by external superficial stuff, we become motivated by developing our internal selves instead? That changes everything, honestly. When we become committed to building up and increasing our internal selves, our sense of need for external stuff just fades over time. Not right away, but it does fade over time, I guarantee you. For example, I think around maybe 10 years ago, I decided, right, there's nothing greater I could commit my life to than just simply being integral, growing in maturity. The only way I'm going to become more integral and grow in maturity is by committing to learning. I need to commit to learning about me, hence the reason I spent many years studying psychology, sociology, philosophy, theology, you name it. I've studied it, history, politics. I wanted to understand me. Where did my perspectives and worldviews come from? I needed a sense of purpose in my life. Autonomy. Autonomy became a hugely pivotal goal. I want to be in control of what I do and when I do it. Right? Because when we're motivated by this stuff, you're not in control of this, it's in control of you. It's a big difference, all right? If you're motivated by more rank, more money, fast cars, gold stars, all right, then you can't actually control these things or acquiring these things. You're completely reliant on forces that be to create opportunities for you, and there's always going to be that element of doubt, angst, stress. And it's always going to be there, angst, doubt, stress, because we fundamentally know that it doesn't matter how much of this stuff we get. None of this stuff is enough to fulfill us in the long term. But this is, ironically, as we commit to growing in integrity, guess what? People want to be around us, right? People want to choose us for the next promotion. People want to choose us to collaborate with and partner with and work with, and so the opportunities just come our way because there's not exactly an abundance of integral people in the world today, and there's not. Very, very hard to come across, right? Mature people. There's a lot of opinionated people, right? There's a lot of selfish people. There's a lot of emotional train wreck people, but mature people, mature men and women, role models in society who set and achieve good, philanthropic, worthwhile goals, few and far between. Most people just motivated by, just want to feel a little bit happier today. It's like mindless goals. Learning. Many people leave school at 16, 17 or 18, or they might go through college, university, then that's me, that's my learning experience over. I'm being straight now, unless we commit to this process of ongoing education, self-directed learning, we will become obsolete if we are not growing in knowledge and understanding. If we are not developing our skills, we will soon become irrelevant in other people's lives, because the emerging generations get this stuff. All right? The emerging generations understand the importance of this lifelong learning. The older generations, late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, some of them aren't even convinced in the value in taking an online course yet. Some would say, if it's online, that's not the same, that's not as good as going to university. The younger generations are wise. They understand that it's possible to get the same quality of information online in 10 to 15 hours as what it would take them 12 months to acquire in an offline institutional training course that costs them thousands of pounds or dollars. Where's the common sense? I'm being straight. The common sense today is in the emerging generations. The younger generations get it. The older generations, not so. The older generations still trying to control the younger generations. All right? It ain't happening. It's not happening. Responsibility, self-discipline, self-awareness. Discipline is key to everything. Discipline is key to everything. Personal development is key to everything. Self-improvement, self-awareness. You cannot improve in areas of life that you're not aware that you can improve in. Right? If you are not aware of what's actually motivating and driving you as a person, how are you going to ever define what success looks like? Oh, made $1 million, I'm successful, but what are you going to do with it? What do you get out of bed for every morning? What's driving you? What's pulling you? Because once you are committed to this, once you're growing in self-awareness, and this isn't a self-awareness training, but I want to lead you in self-awareness, right? It's pivotal, it's key. You're not going to be effective in life without or apart from growing in self-awareness. It ain't going to happen, all right? You don't have to believe me. Just give it 5-10 years and walk in the fruits of your own decisions. Discover the hard way if you have to, all right? Self-discipline. Without self-discipline in life, there are no fruits. There are no outcomes. You can set all the great goals in the world. And I've known many people, many people, they have goal-setting workbooks, like 50 of them, and they've spent years typing out goals. And I'll say, right, okay, so where are you at in life? Oh, I've got a plan for what I want to do in my future. I say, fantastic. When are you going to get started? Oh, I'm only going to get started once I've finished planning. For some people, goal setting and action planning becomes a distraction that actually stops them from taking that first step. Ironically. All right, come on. I know I'm being a little bit unconventional here, but I want you to think. I want you to understand the difference between the things that you perhaps may have pursued in the past that never fulfilled you, that never had the ability to fulfill you, that deplete your energy. Have you ever experienced burnout? Do you know anyone that's ever experienced burnout? If so, burnout comes when we pursue goals that don't give us any life. But the truth of the matter is, when we commit to these sorts of internal goals, growing in integrity, maturity, learning, purpose, autonomy, responsibility, self-discipline, self-awareness, guess what you become? You become the kind of person that everyone else in the world can find unlimited value in.